2025 was an interesting year for Dokkan, having some of the most controversial yet also loved units to ever release. However, some are obviously going to be way better than others, so let's rank them. Every single unit. That's right, free-to-plays, world tournaments, Dokkan fests, all of them. We'll be ranking them based on how well they performed at the time of their initial release, usability, and we'll also be considering leader skills and links. Without further ado, since this will be a long one, let's begin. Also, please don't take this list too seriously, as this is purely based off my experience, and this video will be split up into parts if you aren't watching the main video when it releases. Anyway, F tier. Number 75, Physical Kid Trunks and Goten. In my opinion, these guys are the worst unit released this year. Mainly introduced as a tutorial card for the reverse exchange mechanic, they have abysmal stats even under great leader skills, and almost identical passives when switching from Trunks to Goten. And the passive isn't even that good either. It just increases stats based on how many orbs you collect. In fact, it's not even remotely good. Arse character. Let's move on. Number 74, Tech Mecha Freezer, a world tournament unit. This guy has no stats and one of the worst kits I've ever seen. He only barely gets a leg up over the kids because he has okay support for Revenge or Wicked Bloodline units. Number 73, Physical Magetta. For the worst summonable unit, this guy. If this guy gets touched by anything once, he is dead in the grave. And even if you do survive it, you're stunned for 3 turns. Why? Just why? Number 72, Tech Kid Krillin. Not a very good world tournament unit with no Dokkan awakening yet. His kit relies on him getting lower on health to get stronger. I hope his awakening does him justice, but it probably won't. Number 71, Tech Yamcha. Another world tournament unit. I'll give him the leg up over Krillin because he has an awakening. Number 70, Int Kid Vegeta. I really expected more from this guy. You'd think the only time I'd use him was on the youth team due to better options on his other categories, but he has no links there. No stats. Useless. But interesting kit. Number 69, STR Chi-Chi. The worst LR this year. If her kit had a little more thought put into it, she might be good, but she's not. Virtually useless. Number 68, AGL Possessed Trunks. A banner unit who wants to be running slot 1 on a baby team with the free-to-plays and the Infected Brothers. However, he wants to be running slot 1, which is definitely not happening, because supers from over a year ago can wreck him. Funny number, Int Jiaozu. He's okay for a story mode free-to-play. He had some relevance while being run on the Earthlings team with Tien and Tao, but he was still very scary to use. Still crazy how he got an active skill and a certain someone we'll talk about later didn't. 66, Physical Android 18. She doesn't have much thought put into her kit at all. Moving on. Number 65, AGL Piccolo. I like what they tried to do with this unit. He gets 500% attack twice in his kit. Insane, right? Unfortunately, he can't super until he's been out for 4 turns. An interesting concept, but he provides nothing to his team when he's not supering. 64, Physical Super Saiyan 3 Mini Vegeta. This guy is probably the most hated unit this year, and I know that a lot of people were probably anticipating to see him here. The thing is, I really didn't see this guy getting all too much hate this year when he first released, but with the resurgence of Daima, I guess people just realised he's bad. Me personally, I believe he wasn't as awful as people say he is due to a slight usability on that Daima team, but let's be real, a unit designed to be in slot 1 should not need hella support to survive in slot 1, and the active skill doesn't really do much either. 63, Int Teen Trunks. A world tournament unit who, hilariously, had slightly more value than AGL Trunks as EZA. Still, that isn't a high bar, and you aren't going to use him on either team he wants to be used on, being movie heroes and hybrid Saiyans. Number 62, AGL Angel Yamcha and Princess Snake. These guys have decent damage and dodge, but have 2 categories. 2. Princess Snake doesn't even do anything aside from just stand there. Goten and Icarus Jr. doesn't have all their categories removed. It's a shame really, because no one will use them on the 2 categories they do have. 61, Physical Spopovich. Abysmal stats, but nice damage reduction in his kit. I do find it funny that he's just built to be a Videl killer. If we ever get a hard Videl boss, this guy's a must bring. 60, Tech Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku. Here we are. Never had we ever had a dual Dokkan Fest banner with this big of a gap between the 2 units. Now let's talk about his kit for a moment. I could actually forgive the damage he does to you if he actually did any to the boss, but it really isn't enough. Even his standby is measly damage, and it's never worth it. We all know it, this guy is arse. Never had we ever had a better unit who is better than killing you than the boss. Good for getting you to certain HP thresholds though. Number 59, AGL Manga Goku. Hot take, I actually love these manga units. I think their animations are a neat idea. Anyway, What you'll find with these guys is that on the team they're meant to be run on together, they suck. But individually, they all have some use. Except this guy. He sucks and is much lower down on the list than his summonable character parts. 58. STR Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. Now, if I had to sum up the 10th anniversary LRs in one word, or three actually, it would be quantity over quality. Well, that's not exactly true, as you'll see later, but they clearly cut some corners, and it shows here, and not just in his late animations. He's orb hungry, a normal merchant, tanks like paper, and nothing in his kit really does anything. Whoa. After I super 6 times, I get 30% damage reduction, and whoa, if I do it one more time, I get a guaranteed crit. But you know what could have saved this guy? An active skill. Having an overpowered active skill could have done wonders for him, but no, the dreaded budget cuts. Sorry Vegeta, but you always get the short end of a stick compared to the Goku units, and the free-to-play Chaozu ones for some reason.